The Tin Soldier. This is my father's story, and it is true. When my father Bengt was 5 years old, there was a boy in the village who always came running, often across the fields, sometimes along the road. He ran fast, as if he was being chased. His name was Lasse, 1 year older. A dirty pair of overalls, barefoot in the summer, eyes that had seen more than they should have. They played everything there was to play. They fished by the dam, built secret hiding places, lay on their backs in the grass counting clouds. Bengt had tin soldiers, small knights with drawn swords. And Lasse loved them. And when they played, the world was simple. There was laughter, competition, straw in their hair, and the feeling of being safe, at least for a while. But then there was the foster father. Lasse's foster father was a large man with a cane, a limping walk, and a temper that struck faster than lightning. It didn't always hit, but the threat was always there. A look, a movement, the scrape of the cane against the ground. Lasse learned early to read moods, to make himself small, and to take up as little space as possible. On the last day, they stood by the roadside, Bengt in clean clothes, Lasse in his dirty overalls. A car waited in the yard. Lasse was to be sent away. "I never forget you," Bengt said. "Save the tin soldiers for me," Lasse said. They sealed it with their thumbs. When the foster father, he then grabbed Lasse by the back of the neck and dragged him toward the car, and it drove away. And with it, Lasse disappeared. The years passed, and Bengt grew up with steady ground beneath him, but Lasse never truly left him. The boy returned to his thoughts at unexpected moments, on Sundays, in the fields, by the dam. Bengt wondered, did he get a better life? Did he make it? How does one survive something like that? It became like a quiet prayer, without spoken words and without an address. 52 years later, Bengt is standing at a midsummer celebration, wearing a cowboy hat and boots. He laughs loudly, cracks jokes, tells stories, holding court the way only he can. The line dance runs smoothly. The audience cheers, while the children roll their eyes and smile secretly. Bengt is in his element. Behind him stands a man who freezes when he hears Bengt's dialect. The man taps Bengt on the shoulder with a light, trembling hand. "So you are from Örträsk?" "Yes," Bengt's answer. "That's where I was a foster child." They look at each other for a long moment. "Then you are Lasse, and you are Bengt." The two grown men open their arms and hold each other for a long time. Later they sit at a table, whiskey in their glasses. And what has been pressed down for an entire lifetime begins to surface. Lasse tells Bengt about the violence, about the fear, about how his foster father took him along to gatherings with drinking men, how they laughed and placed bets. Now we'll make a man out of you. They forced hard liquor down his throat. He was 6 years old. The fire flickered, the ground swayed, and the next day he was beaten for asking for more liquor, for believing that this was how one gained approval. Bengt listens. He doesn't say much. He doesn't need to. Lasse says that there were times in his life when the memory of a kind boy in Örträsk was the only thing that kept him going. The thought, someone once saw me. That night, Lasse breaks down in the cabin and he and his wife has rented. His body simply can't carry anymore. In tears, he sinks onto the floor. His wife is there. She holds him until the worst passes. The following summer, Lasse dares to come to Örträsk with his wife, to Bengt and Alén. It's late, velvety summer, safe. A timbered home that stands firm. After dinner, Bengt says, "There's something I want to show you." They walk across the yard toward the old grain shed. Inside, behind boards and memories, Bengt bends down, looses a plank, and brings out a small tin box. "I promised." Lasse opens it. Inside lay the tin soldiers. 2 knights with swords drawn. He holds them in his hands for a long time. Later, back inside the house, Bengt hands him a manuscript with the title Tin Soldier on its front. "This is my daughter's work," he says. "She wrote it last summer after I told her what had happened, that we met each other after all of these years." Lasse reads, turns the pages, pauses. And when he looks up, his voice is steady. "Yes, that is how it was. Thank you, my friend, for keeping me safe in your heart all these years." He then hands Bengt a gift, a cowboy belt with a large silver buckle. Bengt reads the engraving. "A true hero is the one who stands up for another." And the tin soldiers, they are no longer hidden. They are home where they belong. And thank you. That is my story.